The Cold War continues this week in Captain America Sentinel of Liberty 12 by Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, and Alina Erofeva. Sam and Steve and their team get ready to take the fight to Bucky and the now Dimension Z-backed Outer Circle, who have effectively taken over Alaska and enveloped the area in a harsh blizzard. Last issue we left off with a cliffhanger seeing Black Widow enter the game and catch up with Bucky, and this issue continues that encounter and actually goes in a way that kind of surprises me, which sees Bucky asking Natasha to stay with him in Dimension Z and act as oversight to him, just to make sure he doesn't go off the deep end to become a proper supervillain. This puts Black Widow in quite an interesting role in the series in my eyes, given that she's got a little bit more meat here than just coming in as an assassin who has some cool action sequences and as backup, and her words to Bucky about him being the only one in control of who he is echoes Steve's mission to save Bucky, knowing that he isn't changed and is still very much the Bucky he knows. While obviously the crux of the series is Steve trying to save his friend Bucky and pull him out of the Outer Circle, I really do love the tension that Kelly and Lansing are building up between Sam and Steve because of this. Steve is forever the optimist, believing that he can and will succeed in freeing Bucky, but Sam is being a bit more of a realist, citing everything Bucky has willingly done as a member of the Outer Circle, and just in the last few issues alone, and how he's probably now forever changed. Of course, this is because they are building up a conflict between these two heroes, since Captain America fighting another Captain America is kind of like a rite of passage for writers of the character, and the cover of the next issue also hints at this happening, although that is a comic cover. It's used to tease things that don't usually happen, but the writers are not making it a one-sided fight this time round, with both Steve and Sam having pretty valid points, both in favor and against Bucky. Steve, as he's been doing with this confrontation with Sam over the last couple of issues, just kind of runs from the confrontation, not wanting to have to deal with his past in Dimension Z, and Bucky and Kelly and Lansing broach his time in Dimension Z through some really well-placed flashbacks, showing Steve's trying times with the young Ian, giving the boy some much-needed hope, just like Captain America should. Alina Erofeva joins the series with some fantastic story sequences depicting Steve's time in Dimension Z from the Rick Remender years of the book. The choice to do the flashbacks in this sort of uncolored, off-yellow, sketch-like way was great and really helped highlight the fact that this was something set in the far past. The present-day art and action sequences were just as good, filled with really great levels of detail and cool, colorful contrasts thanks to most of the book being set against stark whites of the Alaskan blizzards the team are fighting against. The issue caps off with the reveal that the heroes have made it to Dimension Z while they fought through the savage blizzard, and Steve's sort of 1,000-yard stare at the realization of where he is great, hitting home the trauma he suffered when he was stuck there for a decade, and Cap getting a real fearful look is something that seldom happens, so when it does happen, it's something very serious. Lansing, Kelly, and their team continue to make Captain America Cold War a fun, engaging event, packing in a lot of neat character development and conflict between these characters built off the bones of some fantastic past Captain America comic runs. I'm going to give this issue a solid 9 out of 10, so definitely check it out, and if you haven't checked out the previous Cold War installments, definitely check them out. I've got a great complete story time of Sentinel of Liberty up until the last issue, which details the lead up to Cold War, and I'll be linking that in the description and in the end card coming up next. As always, thank you for watching.